Welcome back. We're now just going to get official word about regards about the Notre Dame versus Purdue college football game, but all these fans have been evacuated because of that.
The first halftime report ever with 2 minutes left in the half?
Never been done before.
Breaking rules.
We are making history right now. Michigan, Nebraska.
For Michigan, Nebraska, right now, Michigan has just taken the lead against Nebraska. And also, the UCF has taken a larger lead right now against North Carolina right now. And right now, we just want to get official word about regards about this game since we're in a currently weather delay.
Can you take advantage of it because of the college rules and college kids who are not, don't have a base format of all these defenses yet. You got to get the basics. The genius of Bill Belichick is he could come up with these crazy game plans and adjustments with pros, and they can adjust on the fly. You can't do that with college kids.
You're saying the college kids, the defensive guys are not smart enough to handle Bill Belichick.
I didn't mean it like that.
I take exception to that.
I did not say that.
Yeah, I do see there is going to be some weather delays, all that stuff.
What's
So
Belichick going to be ready for it is, quarterback's got to go to math class.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend might have texted him something that he's upset about. And, all the different things
That's
that
what I'm
happen
saying.
for college kids. And it's just can you install the defense is one thing. Can you manage a locker room of young people?
The variables are so much greater in college because 18 to 22, so much life happens.
In the NFL, they're in the building for 14 hours a day. They coach them all.
They live it.
But it's also the talent on this roster is not competitive in the ACC and at large. It's going to be a long year.
I put words in your mouth. You think they're bright. They're smart.
I know.
They're juggling a lot of things over here. Okay. All right. So we'll keep our eyes on all the games that are happening right now. Our big game coming up, top 20 matchup in Bloomington. It is Indiana. It is Illinois. Indiana native John Mellencamp. Help us preview that game.
Indiana Hoosier fans are ready to get loud.
We've had this game circled all season, so have both of these teams.
Autry, here he goes! Touchdown!
And here is Altmaier.
And he's got it! Touchdown, Illinois! Mendoza to throw, wants to go to the end zone. Touchdown, Indiana! Omar Cook, his fourth touchdown tonight!
Whoever wins this game, Joshua Perry, are they the number 4 team in the Big Ten? That playoff team outside of Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State?
It feels like that's the path. The dark horse, if we're going to pick outside of these, feels like USC got a little momentum.
We got to watch that.
Playing really well at quarterback. Maybe the defense is taking a step, but these two teams are right there.
Or if Nebraska comes back and wins today, they're in that conversation.
They're in
Washington, we still need to see some.
That's
true. Some teams we're still trying to figure out here.
The second tier of this conference is much deeper than it's been in the past. I mean, how many seasons have we had where we just basically only looked at, okay, when's Michigan going to play Ohio State?
Right.
When's Ohio State going to play Penn State? And that's it.
Right.
Now you've got this very healthy tier of teams that all have potential paths to the playoff and just are going to be in that mix regardless.
I mean, Chris brought this up earlier, and I think part of the reason that the second tier is a lot healthier, a lot of good quarterbacks.
Great quarterbacks.
A lot of good quarterbacks in the Big Ten right now.
Yeah, I mean, this jerk here, he wants me to rank the top 5 quarterbacks in the Big Ten, and that wasn't an easy exercise. There's a lot of good ones. It's nitpicky. It really is.
You never get any hate for doing that, right?
You're going to set me up on social media like you usually do. No big deal.
These 2 good quarterbacks on this team for Indiana and Illinois. This is going to be their first true test. Now, Illinois did get a test on the road against Duke. What do you make of Indiana now? We don't know exactly what they are.
Exactly, right? I love the way Indiana's coached. I love the way the quarterback's playing. I mean, the defense, they're really well coached on that side of the ball as well. But I'm not sure how talented they are as a football team or what to know about them or think about them as a football team, I should say. I was telling you guys this. We used to have Texas play Oklahoma in that first weekend of October. Oklahoma would always have a tough game before they played us. We would kind of play all the cupcake schools and then get to Oklahoma and be like, wait, they're fighting back? Why aren't we just winning 62-0? How dare they hit us like this and make the game competitive? And that, to me, is going to be something to watch tonight because, like you're saying, Illinois had one battle-tested game on the road. Indiana, this is the first time they're going to play real big boy football tonight.
Well, Urban Meyer was really good at getting us ready for the big game in the scenario where we hadn't played. And he would come in on a Tuesday, the first practice day of the week, and he would build up the other team. Oh, the quarterback's going to play in the NFL. I don't know how we're going to tackle a running back. This defense, we can't run on him. And then by the time we get to Friday, he's like, oh, the quarterback's not all that good, and I like our guys better than their guys, right? And I bring that up because both of these coaches are really good at the psychology part. And I think Cignetti's going to have something up his sleeve so his guys don't feel that in the beginning of this game.
Especially because of the conversation around their schedule last year, right? Like, we kind of went through that, like, oh, who have they really played? Who have they really beat? Well, they were good at taking care of business against the teams that they were better than. And then they did play those tough teams well. So I'm interested in seeing that. And then also just both of these coaches, I talked to Curt Cignetti and Brett Bielema this week. They both told me this game has been circled for a long time.
Yeah.
Because they know what's at stake. Illinois knows their playoff path. They know what the schedule looks like after this game. And they didn't actually play this team or cross over many opponents last year. So Brett Bielema started watching film on Indiana back in February. So these teams are very aware of what's at stake here. Indiana's got a tougher schedule, but they want to go back to the playoff. They don't want to be a flash in the pan of last year. They don't want it to be a one-hit wonder and then somebody else is Indiana this year.
Right.
So does this mean that, Joshua, this is more important for Illinois because they have fewer opportunities, or you can look at it as more important for Indiana because they got some real tough ones still on their schedule?
Yeah, I'm thinking that if your path is tougher down the line, this is the one that you have to get. Yeah. I think we would look at Illinois in this one and say, okay, like the Ohio State game that they're getting ready to play in a couple weeks, that's going to be a difficult one. They would like to get this one, but their schedule feels pretty manageable at the end of the day. If you're a team and you've got a couple more down there, like you can't drop this game earlier on in the conference season.
Yeah. All right, that fourth team from the Big Ten into the college football playoff, I mean, maybe it's just going to be Michigan. They got a fab freshman in Bryce Underwood. We got an update, an all-state college football reset.
Oh, they scored again, huh?
In Lincoln. Can't usually get things past Chris. You're usually on top of all of it. This is Jordan Marshall. Took the handoff and he's gone.
No, they've got two great running backs.
We were talking about it, Chris
Great
and I
running
were
back.
earlier, but that's a 1-2 punch. Yeah, we know Notre Dame does
pretty good.
They got a good punch.
That's the second run we've seen for a touchdown today where I don't think anybody touched the guy.
Haynes had one for 75 earlier.
I mean, it's one move in the hole and it's gone, and Michigan still can beat you up at the line of scrimmage. And of course, they have more of a dangerous pass game this year with Underwood.
And you know what's funny about that? It's going to get more dangerous next year because all the receivers in the portal and all the high school guys are going to want to go to Michigan.
If you guys know where I'm at on this one, I'd be tampering right now.
Yeah. Allegedly. We don't want to throw that out there.
I'm not saying we're doing it. That's what I would do.
224 yards on the ground for Michigan so far. They're up by 10 in Nebraska. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter in that one. You talked about it. You alluded to it. It's a way you get the most hate on the internet by ranking things and then making people mad about that. Right. But since we have two great quarterbacks in Fernando Mendoza and Luke Altmaier, we were kind of curious. Are they two top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? And you're a quarterback expert, right? There's no one else to go to here. So we go, you like to call players elite and then even elite-er.
Elite-er,
So we made this Sims elite-er board.
Right, these are Simpsons as we call. I'm not always so good with the English language, all right? So I have fun with it, and I'm just having fun with it. The guy at the top, first off, Dante Moore. I was blown away when I got to really study him and break him down. I mean, he reminds me a little of Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love. Wow. He looks like he's a guy that could be a first-round draft pick at quarterback.
He'd be your number one right now.
He'd be my number one right now. I'm going to give Drew Aller number 2, though. Now, I look at Drew Aller, and I know this is going to be up for discussion, and we can talk about this. One, he's big. He's got experience in big-game football. I know he hasn't played good in all those, but a lot of those times, too, I look at it and go, there are some Penn State problems. I don't think we should always throw it on Drew Aller, right? Now, the guys that we're talking about in this game, let me just get to them. Fernando Mendoza is really good. I mean, first off, Curt Cignetti can coach a quarterback how to play in the pocket, read coverages, and go to the right place with the ball. He's accurate. He has a strong arm. He can get 10 yards running if he needs to and do that. Right, so I'm super impressed by him. Luke Altmaier, I didn't put him on here, but he's just on the outside of the edge looking in here, which is like, there's a bunch of guys like that. I mean, Underwood, Malik Washington, super talented. Aiden Childs. I mean, we can go down the list here. Right, exactly right. Some of these guys, I just want to see a little bit more of first. I recognize their talent might be better than some others. Altmaier, I really like. I don't know if he's as physically gifted as some of these other guys I have on the list. He's clutch. Right? Certainly that. I know that. And he knows how to play the position. I just put these guys a hair above him right now.
I'll back you on Fernando Mendoza, too, because that was, I think, the biggest pickup out of the portal that nobody talked about.
Nobody.
They were so excited that they got him. And if you stayed up to watch Cal
last year, right, he'd catch your eye.
Well, and he wasn't getting a lot of help, right? He was running for his life a lot, but he's a really, really smart guy. And when we were there in the spring, like, the playbook, everything was still so new for him. And Kurt Cignetti says that that's what happens with his quarterbacks. It takes them a minute to get into the system. But he's been really impressed with his pocket presence, his patience, going through the progressions. That's where he's made the most improvement. And I think the NFL scouts are seeing that because we're seeing him, in these mock drafts as, first round,
Right.
first half of the first round, maybe.
Right. The one thing I'll say about Mendoza in studying him, 72% passer, hasn't thrown an interception all year. When he's under pressure, drops to 36%.
So that's the solution here?
Well, this is
Illinois?
the game where we're gonna find out
Yeah.
if they can get pressure.
Yeah.
Does that stat live up? Because that could be a deciding factor.
We would think so.
Yeah.
Illinois got some big D linemen. It's something I question. Indiana's a little smaller up front. Illinois is big. They want to push
Yeah.
you around, Brett Bielema style. That's another thing to gauge about Indiana tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out Gabe Akis, your guy. Want to name
my guy,
one of your
NFL
guys. Gabe
player,
Akis
right.
for Illinois could be
Right.
one of the guys that gives them trouble on that defensive line. All right, much more on this conversation. Dante Moore doing some things for Oregon, but first, let's get it back to South Bend and Zora Stevenson.
All right, let's see what's going
The
on.
plan right now, everyone, is for the guys to take the field at 6:40. They'll have a 10-minute warm-up, and then play will resume at 6:50. As you all know, there's only a minute and 31 seconds left in the second quarter, so consider this the halftime. After the second quarter is over, there will be an end-of-quarter break, about 3 minutes, and then the third quarter will start. That's all the suggestion and the plan in place, but of course, Mother Nature does what it does. I did check in on the Purdue locker room, much of the same over there. Hydrating, refueling, and of course, this is the second time in 2 weeks that Purdue has had a weather delay. So, unfortunately, they're experienced in this avenue.
And who knows, maybe that'll play a part in them being able to handle it early on. But I'm always a little skeptical on this whole discussion because, like, both teams are facing the same situation here. But I guess it is which team handles it a little bit better.
This is tough.
All right,
I'll just flat
we
out
just
say,
got an
if I
update.
was a player, I
The
would-
players will eventually be back on the field at 6:40 p.m. That's gonna be a while.
I'm old school, but
Heat lightning. We're not.
Wow.
like football's
The
such an
first
emotional
time-
football game, right? You waste all this energy getting
And
ready
yeah.
to go. You haven't eaten forever, and
Yeah,
as
sure.
a player,
All right.
you don't eat a lot before games anyways because you're usually
So that means you got a
you don't want to have
long
heavy
way to
stomach.
go.
So you're getting to a point of the game here where you're going, wait, I'm starving. Hold on, my body cooled down. I'm tight. I don't care if you're 19 or 20 or whatever. And then you gotta, rev up the engine
Yeah,
again.
sure.
That is very
The
tough.
crash
as
is
a football
real.
player.
The crash is real. Like,
Exactly.
Like you get hyped up, and
Yeah.
then once all that adrenaline is gone, you are worn out.
Right,
So
we're
are-
seeing
do
Nicole
us-
get like that after halftime. sometimes.
We had some more energy drinks and then we wrapped back up.
Yeah,
But
that is true.
Is this because it's been so long? Do you just start from scratch, like all of your warm up, like everything that you would normally?
As
do
if you were
for a
starting a
game?
game.
I would-
Yeah,
think
right?
For
I would-
the most
Yeah.
part, I
Yeah.
think you do. You start back at the basics. You start getting going in the locker room, and then hopefully you're semi-warm
Yep.
for when you get on the field. Now you can push it to that next level to go. Let's get really warm, so I'm like ready to
I'm
play
getting
ball.
my ankles retaped. Like
Oh.
I'm going straight
Everything.
from scratch.
Yeah.
All right, so 6:40 Eastern time is what we're hearing from Zora, and when they're going to get out on the field. 6:50 is when they're start again. So, we got some
And also another word,
happening and fresh
this
off of
game
the-
will resume at 6:50 p.m. It's a long way to go. So we just
Scoreless early on.
just gonna just gonna let everybody know.
There's effortless lasers throughout
So we just got official word that the game will resume at 6:50 p.m. and
and I know you guys did too, but I was going.
yeah.
Last 2 years, Bo Nix is really good.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel's really good.
And
They have good arms.
that's all
And
I'm
there
gonna
was a lot
say.
of screens. I think with this guy, they were
This
like,
game should have
this
been
guy's
over in
first
an
30
hour,
minutes
but
is
it
like
may
straight
not.
start stretching the field that way.
Because
Also, I feel like
because
Bo
you know why?
is
Because we had a weather delay.
receiver.
This
And
game on
Bob
Civil
throws
Lancer told
short passes all the time
Well,
with this guy at
And
quarterback.
Decory Moore,
He's so
freshman,
good.
like he's so good
Oh my God.
already.
probably
This is also
I'll
part of
say
it's really why been so high on him even coming into the year because he was in that quarterback room all last year,
Yeah,
right? He was learning from Dylan Gabriel. He knew that he wasn't going to start and still chose to come back to Oregon where he'd been previously committed before he went to UCLA. That I think it sets up
It does.
this.
It
It
lays
allows you.
groundwork.
so. The final alert is says Notre Dame Purdue game will resume at 6:50 p.m.
To him playing the long game like that, like it was probably the best thing he
This
could
will
have
turn
done. for
into
his
an
team.
This day
indoor
and age,
stadium.
everybody's chasing
I wanna play now.
I want the money.
Yep.
Let's go do it. He went, wait, I go here. I learn behind this guy, Dylan Gabriel. I'm with a good football team.
Yep.
And when I get my chance, I'm going to show everybody. And right now, he's showing that he's looking like he's a guy that could be a first-round quarterback.
With Will Stein, it was just like you knew Bo Nix could throw the deep ball.
Right.
Dylan Gabriel could throw the deep, but that was just their offense.
Exactly.
But now they have even broken out of that for Dante Moore, and they're opening it up a little bit more here. And so we'll keep you updated. I mean, there's a 6 next to Oregon's name. That very well could be a 1 at some point.
They're going to be playing for it maybe
They're
next
most
week.
talked about team in the top 10 right now.
Agree.
Yeah.
Penn State, Oregon, looking forward to that one. Yes, for sure. All right, so we got a score update. Oklahoma, a low-scoring game against Auburn. This is a 32-yard attempt, so Oklahoma back up 3.
Feels like a Big Ten West.
You know I like the quarterback Mateer.
Yep.
But the story of this game is they are hitting.
They are.
Oklahoma and Auburn are physical as can be. Oklahoma's reminding me of the teams that used to whoop my butt early in the 2000s with Bob Stoops. They're back to that. It's not the Big 12 defense that we saw the last few years. They can play some D right now.
This might be the way that they win a lot of these games this year, right? It's a really tough schedule with the SEC, but Brent Venables retook control of this defense, and he's reminding us, this is what Clemson's missing, by the way.
Right.
He is one of the best defensive coordinators in the country, and they're going to play like this all season. You're going to get a little banged up at times.
Well, John Mateer specifically. A lot of the offense runs through him, and he is reckless with the way that he plays. I love it. But to the point that you guys are making, when Oklahoma played Michigan, I felt like that was the most physical game that I saw up to that point in the year.
Right.
It's a lot of the same thing out here.
It is.
And Auburn too. They're physical
bringing it
as
too.
well.
I'm certainly
right.
you're
So it's
right.
like they're hitting out there. It's an old school game.
It's a fun game to watch so far.
So this is what we get to do. We get to be your remote control. If anything cool is happening out there, we will go to it. We will give you score alerts, and so that is our promise
The
to you.
longest non-halftime halftime
We have broken
And he's the
the record.
weatherman as well.
Coming up, we're going to do the Sims e-leaderboard.
See you back here on the other side.